Hello and welcome to this session in which we will keep working with the types of cyber attacks. Cyber attacks can be categorized into 6 main types. In the prior session, we looked at the network-based attacks. We looked at the host-based attacks. In this session, we would look at social engineering attacks. What is social engineering? Basically manipulating the individual, making them believe you are a legitimate person or a legitimate party, so they can reveal, they can tell you sensitive information or perform unsecured action on their system that's going to give you access to their personal data, to the company data, just basically tricking them into giving you this information. This is what social engineering is. And this is what we will discuss in this recording. We still have to look at application-based attack, physical attacks, supply chain attacks. Every time I go over those sessions, I'm going to repeat myself multiple times that practice is the key to pass information systems and control. Where can you practice? Farhat lectures. I'll have thousands of MCQs that's going to help you practice, get ready for information systems and control. This session involves many definitions, many terms, and they expect you to be able to do what? Answer basic multiple choice questions. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com. Farhat Accounting Lectures is a supplemental educational tool that's going to help you with your CPA exam preparation as well as your accounting courses. My CPA material is aligned with your CPA review course such as Becker, Roger, Wiley, Gleam, Miles. My accounting courses are aligned with your accounting courses broken down by chapter and topics. My resources consist of lectures, multiple choice questions, true false questions, as well as exercises. Go ahead, start your free trial today. Social engineering attacks. Social engineering are a type of cybersecurity threat where attackers manipulate, basically lies. They tell the other individual, convince them somehow to reveal information, confidential information, to give them access to restricted areas or help them indirectly to conduct fraudulent activity. So social engineering, instead of using programming and technical things, what you would do, you would use just simple social engineering, social information about the user. Instead of using technical hacking method, these attacks exploit the natural tendencies of humans to trust. So basically you're playing on the trust of the other individual. Attackers typically use communication channels, email, text messages, direct messaging platform, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or social media to establish a rapport, some sort of a relationship with their target. Through this process, they build relationship, they build the trust, making it easier to deceive the target into acting against their own interests or the interests of their organization. The goal is to gain influence slowly to perform actions, to help them perform actions to reveal information that they normally would not do if they were aware of the attacker's true intention. So you will convince them indirectly. Phishing is a form of social engineering. It's a cyber scam that uses deceptive emails mimicking legitimate entities to trick the individuals into revealing sensitive information. Oftentimes, if you have a PayPal account or an Amazon account, a phishing email would send you an email just like a website that looks exactly like Amazon, and they would say you need to reset your password, or would look exactly like PayPal, and they will ask you to reset your password. So this email contains urgent messages directing the recipient to fraudulent website where they are asked to enter personal details such as password or credit card information. So for example, you might receive a fake email from what seems to be your bank claiming your account is locked and urging you to click on the link to unlock it. This link leads to a counterfeit site designed to do what? Steal your information by asking you to input your login and password, and everything is being recorded on the other end. The success of phishing relies on the illusion of authenticity and urgency, making it crucial to scrutinize unexpected requests of personal data. So if you see something unusual, just don't click on it. Spear phishing. What's spear phishing? It's a more targeted form of phishing version that focuses on specific individual or employee. Here you have to do a little bit more of research Kind of know a little bit more about the person that you're targeting. Are they in IT? Are they in HR? Are they in accounting? And the attacker poses as a trusted entity, often mimicking internal department like human resources or impersonating key figures such as the IT director. So you are claiming you are either from HR or IT, and you know the role of the other individual. So that individual kind of, they lower their guards because they think they are talking to someone within the company, especially someone from HR or IT. They might reveal information. So the fraudulent communication is crafted to look genuine with the aim of tricking the recipient into revealing sensitive information such as username, password, or personal data, because you are assuming you are talking to someone inside the company. Now the other individual will have to do a little bit more of research before they do this spear phishing. This method is highly personalized, utilizing details about the target to increase the email credibility. Here they would do what? They would look up their social media, they would look up any public information, their LinkedIn account, what position, what responsibilities they do before they send the email, making it more quickly than the recipient would respond to comply with the request, because you think they know something about me, they must be internal, it's okay to reveal this information, so be careful. So the ultimate objective of this spear phishing is to exploit the acquired information for malicious purposes, ranging from unauthorized access to identity theft or fraudulent fraud. So the precise approach makes spear phishing particularly dangerous and effective form of cyber attacks, because you are lowering your guards for two reasons. They know something about me and they're internal to the company. They must be legitimate. Let's take a look at something called BEC, Business Email Compromise, not the BEC exam, the old BEC exam. This is Business Email Compromise. This is also known as whaling. Whaling is another form of phishing. It's even more specialized than spear phishing. It's a sophisticated form of phishing that specifically target executives and high-ranking officials like CEOs. Here you're going after the CEO. The aim is to deceive those individuals into executing unauthorized financial transaction, like sending a wire or paying a supplier that don't exist, or revealing sensitive information under the guise of urgency or confidentiality. So here what happened is this. You would look up the CEO of a certain company and you would learn more about them. And it's better if you know if they are in negotiation with another company. They're into a contract with a software engineering company. They're creating a new software. They're negotiating with a new vendor, a new supplier. And what you will do, you will send them an email under the pretext you are a representative of the other party, asking them to do what? To either send the money or sign a contract or reveal sensitive information. But here you have to do much more research about the CEO, the person that you're attacking, and you want to know a little bit more what's going on from inside the company. Maybe talk to an employee, talk to someone lower than the CEO, just know a little bit more about what's going on. Here the attacker might impersonate trusted contact, like attorneys or key employee, leveraging the authority of these identities to lend credibility for the request. So this type of cyber attack is so focused in its own high value target. That's why they call it whaling, implying the pursuit of a bigger fish in the corporate sea. That's what you're doing. You're targeting, think of CEOs. So the success of this scam lies in the careful research and planning the attack, who might study the organization's hierarchy, the executive communication style, and the timing to execute the scam. Maybe they know that the CEO now is busy. They may not pay attention with urgency, and knowing what's going on, they might reveal this information. An example would be CFO might receive an email, appears from the CEO. Now, the CFO is receiving the email, urgently requesting a wire transfer, which is normal. The CEO requests wire transfer from the CFO, and you have the name of the CEO in an email to a vendor. The email would be crafted to mirror the CEO's tone and include details that make the request seem legitimate and urgent. What would the CFO do? Well, you asked me to do this. You're the CEO. I'm going to go ahead and process this wire. Now, the financial and reputational consequences of the BEC can be severe, because you're looking at the top, making it critical for organization to implement stringent verification process for financial transaction and sensitive information. And here what you need to do, whaling
training, right? You want to make the CEO aware of these activities. Training the employees to recognize the sign of such targeted phishing attempt. Pretexting. What's pretexting? It's involved attackers fabricating scenarios to trick target into giving away sensitive information or performing action that help in the fraud. Well, how does that happen? Unlike BEC and spear phishing, which mimic known contact, here pretexting often create entirely new yet plausible situation. For example, an attacker might pose as an external auditor, needing confidential data, leveraging on the sense of urgency or authority because they're the auditor. And this technique relies on the attacker's ability to be seen as a legitimate party, prompting the victim to bypass usual security checks. The goal is to exploit the obtained information or induce actions for malicious purposes, highlighting the need for strict, again, verification process. So social engineering can be prevented mostly by training. Just let the people know what to look for. And if you're not sure, don't comply until you double and triple check. Catfishing. What's catfishing? It's a deceptive practice where someone creates a fictional online identity to establish a personal relationship with an unsuspected individual. The scheme, what they do, they rely on the emotional connection formed in these fake relationships. The fraudster used their fabricated persona to build trust and affection over time. It takes time. Once a significant emotional bond has been established, they began to request money, expensive gift, or other valuable items under various pretenses. These reasons can range from financial crisis, needing funds for travel to meet the victim, or covering medical expenses, among others. But the ultimate goal is to do what? Is exploit the victim. Emotional investment for financial gain or other benefit, then leaving the victim financially and emotionally distressed once the deception is unveiled, it's uncovered. Pharming. What's pharming? Pharming is similar to something we learned about spoofing. It's a cyber attack that tricked the users into entering personal information on a fake website that looks like a legitimate one. Unlike phishing, which relies on deceptive email, pharming manipulates the domain name system, the DNS, to redirect the users directly from a real website to a fraudulent one. So when you input an email, a website, rather than taking you to farhatlectures.com, it takes you to another website that looks like farhatlectures.com, but it's not farhatlectures.com. This means even if the users type in the correct address or click on a legitimate looking link, they can still end up on a counterfeit site designated to steal your data. So what do you need to do? Usually look for HTTPS. Always look for the S in the email. That's important. It's a secured website. HTTPS is a secured website. That's the first thing you want to look at. It's a more technical method, and it's a dangerous method, and it compromises users who are careful about not clicking on suspicious link. You're not clicking on suspicious link. You are going to the website, and the website is directing you to another website. So will be an example. Let's assume Sam intends to log into their online banking account. They correctly type the URL address. However, unknown to them, a pharma attack has altered the DNS setting or the DNS servers itself. Instead of connecting to the actual bank website, they are redirected to a fraudulent website that looks identical to the real one. Again, what should you do? HTTP, look for the S. Believing they are on their own legitimate site, Sam would enter their credential, login, password. The fake website, where they will capture the sensitive information, giving attackers access to Sam's banking account. So the deception is sophisticated enough that Sam might not realize their mistake until they start to figure out there are unauthorized transactions on their account. And this is how it works. Again, it's very similar to spoofing. It's part of spoofing, basically. Spoofing is when you change the DNS into some other address. Vishing with a V. Vishing is short for voice phishing. It's a fraudulent practice where attackers use the telephone system, voice, especially voice over internet protocol, to deceive individuals into revealing personal information or financial details. Now, unlike traditional phishing that relies on email, phishing uses phone calls or voicemail with spoofed caller ID. So you would look at the ID, it looks legitimate, making it appear as though the call is coming from a legitimate business or a known individual. Sometimes they call you and it's someone from your contact. Just be careful, always be careful. Attackers often employ pre-recorded messages that sounds professional and convincing, sometimes incorporating interactive elements that respond to key tones or voice command. So these messages might promote the victim to enter sensitive information, such as bank account numbers, credit card details, social security, using their phone keypad or voice recognition. So just don't respond to those. It's as simple as that. So the system then translates these inputs into digital data that the attacker can use for fraudulent activity. Let's take a look at multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. What type of attack targets specific individuals within the organization by impersonating internal entities? So you are looking at specific individuals and you are claiming to be internal entities. Is it phishing, spear phishing, vishing, or Pharming? Here what you are doing is phishing is, what's phishing? Phishing is when it's a broader, less targeted attack. You're basically, you are phishing. You're hoping someone will pick up. Okay, that's what phishing is. Spear phishing, it's more targeted. Now you are acting as an internal person to the internal entity and asking the other individual to reveal information, which is, that's the definition. What type of attack targets specific individual by impersonating internal entities? It's a spear phishing. Now we also have whaling. Whaling is when you are targeting top executives like CEO or CFO. Vishing is what? Vishing is voice calls, and Pharming is what? What's Pharming? Remember, Pharming is more like spoofing. It's sending you to a fake website. So the answer is B as in boy. What should you do now? You're gonna go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional MCQs. That's gonna help you prepare for the CPA exam. Invest in yourself. If you're studying for the information systems and control, the more multiple choice questions you complete, the better off you are. Farhat Lectures can help. Good luck, invest in yourself, and stay safe.